Have you ever caught yourself doing something strange, standing alone in front of a mirror, staring at yourself, and suddenly talking? Maybe you were arguing with someone who wasn't there, practicing a conversation, motivating yourself, or replaying old memories in your head. And for a second, you probably wondered, am I weird for doing this? But here's the shocking truth. Millions of people secretly talk to themselves every single day. Some whisper quietly, some speak in full conversations, and some even use mirrors like they're talking to another person. So why does the human mind do this? Why do intelligent people often talk to themselves more? And what is actually happening inside your brain during those silent conversations? Because according to psychology, talking to yourself may not be madness at all. It may actually reveal something powerful about your mind. Truth 1. Your brain was never designed to stay silent. Most people think thoughts happen quietly, but that's not completely true. Inside your brain, there's almost constant conversation happening. Your mind questions things, analyzes situations, replays memories, imagines future scenarios. And sometimes, those thoughts become so intense that the brain pushes them outward through speech. Psychologists call this self-talk. And surprisingly, it's completely normal. In fact, research shows that talking to yourself can improve focus, memory, emotional control, decision-making, and confidence. Athletes do it. Successful entrepreneurs do it. Even famous scientists were known for speaking to themselves while thinking deeply. Because sometimes, hearing your thoughts out loud helps the brain organize chaos. Truth to mirrors create a strange psychological effect. Now here's where things become more interesting. Talking to yourself is one thing, but talking to yourself while staring into a mirror, that affects the brain differently. Because the moment you look into a mirror, your brain stops feeling completely alone. It feels like you're facing another version of yourself. And psychologically, this creates emotional intensity. That's why people often become more honest with themselves in mirrors. Some people motivate themselves, some criticize themselves, some confess fears they never tell anyone else, and some simply stare, trying to understand who they really are. Mirrors force self-awareness, and self-awareness can be uncomfortable because most people spend their entire lives distracting themselves from their real emotions. But a mirror removes distraction. It forces you to face yourself directly. Truth 3. Intelligent people often talk to themselves more. This may sound surprising, but studies suggest that intelligent people often engage in more internal conversations. Why? Because active minds rarely stay quiet. Highly analytical people constantly think about possibilities, mistakes, future outcomes, human behavior, conversations, and imaginary scenarios. Their brain keeps processing information even when nothing is happening, and eventually, those thoughts escape verbally. That's why some intelligent people accidentally start talking aloud while thinking, not because they're crazy, but because their brain is overloaded with analysis. In fact, many creative people talk to themselves while solving problems, because hearing thoughts out loud activates different parts of the brain. Sometimes the answer becomes clearer the moment it's spoken. Truth for self-talk can reveal hidden emotions. The way you talk to yourself says a lot about your mental state. Think about it. Some people constantly insult themselves. I'm useless. I always fail. I'm not good enough. Others encourage themselves. Keep going. You can handle this. One more step. Over time, your inner voice slowly shapes your personality. Because your brain listens to repeated thoughts even when they come from you. And this is why negative self-talk becomes dangerous. The human mind believes repetition. If you repeat fear long enough, the brain accepts fear as truth. If you repeat confidence long enough, the brain slowly starts believing confidence too. That's why psychologists say the person you talk to most in life is yourself. And whether that voice destroys you or strengthens you depends on what you repeatedly say. Truth 5. Sometimes people talk to themselves because they feel alone. This is the sad reality many people never admit. Some people talk to themselves because they have nobody else to talk to. No emotional support, no understanding, no safe place to express thoughts. So the mind creates its own comfort, its own listener, its own conversation. And honestly, sometimes talking to yourself feels safer than talking to people, because people judge, people misunderstand. But when you're alone with yourself, there's no mask to wear. That's why, late at night, many people suddenly start having deep conversations with themselves about life, regret, fear, dreams, pain. Because silence often forces hidden emotions to rise to the surface. So if you've ever talked to yourself in a mirror, you're not alone. It doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with you. Sometimes, it simply means your mind is overloaded with thoughts the world never hears. The human brain was never meant to stay silent all the time. And maybe that strange voice inside your head is just your mind trying to understand itself. So the next time you catch yourself staring into a mirror and talking, pay attention carefully. because the conversation you have with yourself might be the most honest conversation in your entire life. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more deep psychology and human behavior content.